Always wanted to do cartoony animation? In this video, I'll show you step by step how to bring a Tom and Jerry gag to life using a Tom rig. Along the way, we'll explore the 12 principles of animation and really push them with industry techniques to create something fun and memorable. So just like I've done with the legs over here, now I want to move the hands into IK as well because I want to get that really stretched, and I can't achieve that with the FK arms I have. Also, now that I'm looking at where the pillar is, so just be mindful of this, guys. When you have props, you might want to change the size based on what your character. Look how big Tom is, and this massive pillar over here as well. So I would say the pillar is twice his width. That's going to basically mean I'm going to stretch him way more than he's stretching over here. So we want to correct that straight away. So let's do this. Let's do that. I'm going to bring it close to him because this is the point of impact, so we don't want to change that. Let's go one frame back. Okay, he's going to hit. Maybe ever so slightly moving it a bit more. Smack. Cool. You see how I was going to have the legs much further out than it should have been. So now I've corrected that. So he's actually just going back into the direction he's coming from. Okay, so let's have this. I'm not going to move the body just yet because obviously like the leg's going to be in the IK. So I don't have to worry about that too much. But I really want to get this pose done pretty quickly. A little bit, put the leg into IK. Cool. Let's put this leg into IK. It's an IK, great. Let's grab the foot. And it's quite important to try to get the foot facing in the direction of where it was before. So it's facing that way. When you go into IK, it goes, snaps back into its center of origin there. And we want to make sure that it's still going from that direction backwards. So let's pull it really back. From here, it all should look good, hopefully. But from here, it should look broken. And now if it's going in that direction, it will turn around like this. At this point, because we're not going to see if its geometry is going through one another, we just want to get a nice silhouette over here. And just like the previous pose here, where one foot is behind the other, but it's not overlapping exactly the same, it's kind of like offset a little bit. It's the same kind of thought process. So over here it looks weird, but over here we're just looking at, the silhouette that we've created. Let me just pull this in down. I can push this more than what's happening here, but I want to get the pose working correctly first. And then I can think about, well, okay, let's push this a bit more. I mean, Tom and Jerry stuff is so pushed already. It's already breaking what's happening there. So I think if you go anything beyond what Tom and Jerry's doing, guys, you're most likely looking to break the rig. I mean, not break the rig, sorry. Go off models so much that it feels a bit weird. Because look at that. His body's facing forward, his legs are going back, and his foot is just the opposite way around. That is already like bonkers. And it's a good bonkers. It's fun, you know? Okay. So we've done that. I want to move this out a little bit. Nope, it doesn't. Oh, hold on. We should have some tweakers. No? Okay. Well, I'll pull the foot out a bit so it doesn't go through the wall on this side because we can actually see it go through the wall. Yeah, that should be fine. Maybe a bit more out. What you'll find is when you're doing cartoony stuff or really, fun, playful shots like this, you'll be sculpting much more. Sculpting in the sense that you're really chiseling in those poses, making things look correct to camera, but breaking them outside of the camera, like over here. It just looks, it doesn't look like it's really happening. I mean, it is a cartoon, I get it, but look, I'm breaking the legs to face the camera on this side towards us. And that's fine, because that's like, there'll be some shows that's like this, or if you're doing this kind of an animation, that's what it kind of calls for. Because you're pretty much trying to recreate what happens in 2D, and we can't draw, but you can sculpt. There's See how like some of the fingers, or sorry, the toes are spread out, and some aren't. Let's get a bit more variety in there if we can. I'll leave the middle one there and I'll pull this one out. Maybe I'll translate. Yeah, there we go. Translation's working better. Because there's only one controller for the feet. I'll have to zoom in to see this. Yeah, that feels so much more painful. Poor Tom. Yeah, these feel a bit more. Ouch. You know, sky out. Okay, that's. I'll leave it like that for now. Like I said, the beauty part at the very end, I'll go through these and just one more. Okay, now you're gonna see me. I'll move the hands as well before I go for the body. So we spoke about the hands or the arms. Now going into IK on over one frame because it's impossible to get that with this. So that's the legs. Okay, here we go. So see how over here, these are for the legs. The little triangles over his shoulders are going to be for the arms. There we go. So I'll put this hand. Control the hands. Oh, there we go. This is it. So it's those little triangles just over the shoulders. And you see that deformation happening there? It's breaking up the textures because there's a lot of twist happening because the elbow is pointing that way and the hands are over here. So I just need to bring this around. There we go. That's where it should be. There. Something like this. Okay, now let's put the stretch on. So it feels a little more better now. The more you stretch, I think the more it's going to break. Let's do this. Let's keep the hands rotated. I'm going to use the wall as like a measuring stick to where the hand should go. I can see from here the hands are further out. Anyway, let's keep it moving. So let's get a nice big fingers pushing out kind of pose here. So he's doing, like I need to spread those fingers out and push them as well. So I'll grab this one, pull it out. There we go, it's fixed. Let's save. And I also want to pull this out, guys. I really want to get that, look at the pain in his arms. I can feel that tension. I really want that over here as well. And even this one, I'm just making shapes. That's what 2D animation is. Or if you're interested in this kind of stuff. All those Hotels Transylvanias and Cloudy Meatballs, if you like that kind of stuff, that's this kind of stuff. Let's pull this part out. Oh, pulling out this part is better. There we go. Pulling out the base is not really that great. Let's pull this out. Just make it feel like he's in a lot of pain. Poor Tom. Okay, those are the hands. Let's save. Once I've done a bit of animation or posing in an area that I've taken me a bit of time, I immediately just refer back to saving. Okay, let's do the same thing on this side. Let's pull the hands back and we're just repeating it again. Let's go back. Let's put the stretch on. Let's always also look one frame before. There we go. There we go. He's there. Smack. Yeah, I can really feel it in his feet. It really feels like, he's really hit that part of the house. Maybe I'll bring the shoulders. No, I don't want to bring the shoulders down. I'll raise. Look how this hand here is cheated even more. So I think this one's higher, like there. And I'll bring it closer as well because we're losing the size, like this. Even though I've brought it so close, it looks so different. I'm going to position it here, rotate towards us, bring this elbow as well around here. Now let's open those fingers. See how it feels like the arm is going down? I'm going to cheat that a little bit and grab the shoulder on the side. This is it. So look at where this arm is going, but I'm going to pull out from this side. See, it's look where the shoulder is. I mean, this looks horrendous on this side, but by raising that shoulder, look where it is on this side. What's happening? It was like this. I raise it up, so it feels like it's going in the same place, but it's completely broken. Meh. As long as it looks good for camera, not in this angle. Okay, so we continue with the hands and the fingers. Pull this out, and stretch. Pull this out. I mean, I'm going to be doing the same thing, so you're going to hear me say the same thing over again. Pull this out, and stretch. Okay. And let's separate these two. They're very close to one another. This one here as well, ever so slightly. There. Maybe I can push this one a bit further. So it doesn't feel like they're all even. Yep, there we go. Maybe ever so slightly there. Okay, I think like the arms and the legs are looking fine. Now we just need to work on the body. I need to look for solutions to just squeeze, because if you look at where the head is down to the hips, we go from this, which is fine, to bang. And now we just want to feel that compression across the body. And I'm going to see how I can manage this, because if I can scale, great. If I can't, and anything that's going to allow me to squash that area is fine. Nope. Okay. I can get quite a bit here. Maybe just push this in a bit more. Let me see what happens here. Squash the face. Oh, I can get a lot done with the face. That's great. There. When I look from the side, it really feels like, yeah, even here, bang. And he even closes his mouth there, which we can get. So close the rotation. Nope, that's not for the mouth, that's for the head. Let's try this one. Am I doing the same thing again? Again, let's do this trick. We'll go back to the previous pose and find the controller. Or is this the jaw? No, just this one here. Yep, it's this one. Go to the next frame, close the mouth. Yeah, but I want to, well, I want to close the jaw but open the mouth. There we go. We want to see more teeth than it is gum. Like we don't want to see the gum too much. It just makes it feel weird. So when it goes from here, oh yeah, I can't help but do sound effects. So when I'm moving stuff, I'm like boing, boing, ding, ding, ding. And then afterwards it's like, oh, you'll get used to it if you're an animator. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the tutorials. Hopefully you're finding this stuff useful. And I want to sculpt this a little bit more as well. So I close the gum. I don't want to see too much gummy area. It just when you have the gum, like when the that part of the mouth is visible, it loses some of its aesthetic feeling or like cartooniness, and it becomes more realistic. There's a more, there's a fine line between some of the things you should see and shouldn't see. And if you look in Disney, they never show like the gum part of the mouth, and that jumps into the realm of it loses its appeal. It becomes a bit more realistic. I mean, we still know it's Tom and Jerry, but it just loses its appeal factor. So you want to avoid that. You can see a bit, but not too much. Okay, so let's do back and forth and see this. That's great. That feels good, but I would like to get this part. You see how he's like belly? It's just below his like pelvic area. That's a bit blobby. It'll be nice to see if there's some controllers to hold that in. Let's try this one. Yeah, I think this might be it. Yeah, I think it's working. I just need to go I'm really breaking things here. Okay, let's go back. Bang, bang. And the head stretches up there. I can pull the head up as well. So small things that I'm noticing. So what I want to do is he goes from this extreme. One, two, three, four. Yeah, I want to go to this pose. So because we go from like 27, this pose, one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, we want to get this pose here. Because what I'm looking for is he goes back, back, hits the wall. Then for this pose, he comes forward, forward, and then he's back onto this snap. So what I can do for this pose is stay on the same one, but just pull back on the craziness that I did with the body, like with the scaling, draw back on all of that. Cool. Now we can bring the legs forward. Should I jump back into IK? FK, sorry. I think this is going to be the first time I'm jumping in and out of FK, IK so much. Let's see if I can keep the legs in world space. FK over one frame. Yeah, that's fine. It's no big deal. But I would say this is the first time I've gone back and forth, because now I don't want it to stretch anymore. So I want it to come back. Come over here. Okay, so the leg, we can go back into FK. Yep, zero these out. Same thing with these guys. Zero. Just find all the leg controls for this left foot first. He's pretty much in this pose for a little while now. It's going to be, it's like two poses flicking between one another. And then he comes down, boing. Then we're getting quite a few things done by that point. Let's sort this out. Do I want to put the hands in okay as well? Let's see. Once I get that pose, I'll just add that those two poses in there, and you're going to see how very quickly I'm going to be able to get that out of the way. Get the hands in there. The wobbly stuff, I might just do it as in, for example, like when he gets hit and you have this like effects. I'll add that in another software once I'm done with the animation. I'll show you guys how to do that as well. But all that little wobble on his skin, I could just do that in 2D, just draw over with just on top of the actual rig itself. So this could be like a mixture of like 3D and with like the final 2D effects on top. Because that is not possible with this rig. Like maybe I can get a little bit in there, but there's no point just me. That'll take a long time, guys. You know how much time that will take? A long time. Its face is still pushed in, but not as much. It's starting to open up. So we can still have a bit of a squint, but Tom can relax now. Poor old Tom. Splat. Comes back out. Hmm, come on. So we're going to try and grab this pose. Put it back over here. There we go. A quicker way to just get the face into the position we want. He still has a squashed face. Like we don't want to completely, you know, have him go back to neutral. And let's see where he is at this point. He just comes forward. And he's facing more towards camera. Like we're playing it more towards camera like this. Let's have the arms straight. Just to feel that tension across the hands or the arms. I think I can still keep the hands in this pose. That might just still be the thing. Thanks. Hold on. Oh, I think it's the elbow control that I need to move. Where is it? No, I don't have an elbow control because it's an FK. There. What I can do is use these bendy controllers to get a bit more of a just a bit more of a bend, you know, to make it feel like well, one, to make it a bit more appealing, and two, just get a nice little line going across his body on his arms. But too much can make it feel broken. Just a bit. Cool. Now let's raise this leg. Look how high his legs are up. Like it's yeah, Tom and Jerry for you. Let's save. Let's keep swimming. Let's get this leg up. Come on, Thomas, we're almost done with this pose. And the key thing is to make sure that the poses you create for your character are readable, clear, and appealing. Because you're going to be in that pose for a little while. It's always in very old school 2D kind of animation. You're always living in that pose. You snap from one pose to another pose, and it's one, you sculpt that pose because once you stay in that pose for a while, you want it to be one, very clear, and secondly, if it's not a great pose, your audience is going to be distracted by it. They're going to notice it because, you know, and you want your pose to be telling an emotion, a feeling, a story, whatever it may be. And if you're staying in something for a long time and it's not that great, the audience will know, and we don't want that. We want it to be awesome. We want your shots to look good, and you want it to be appealing and fun for your own self anyway. So that's kind of like, there we go. See how he's starting to feel like I'm raising the legs up, but I'm getting all this deformation around this bit. Oh, let's get his hip controller. This one here, the hips. Might need to just rotate that forward. No, that's not it. I don't want to move the whole body. I just want to move a small section. No, that's my go-to thing. Nope, not working. Computer says no. Let's try this one. Oh, that's it. That's probably it. Just a little bit. I'm not sure if it's helping, but let's just try. That's not what he's doing. Mm, hold on. I'm gonna break it a little bit. It's not like I haven't done that before. Oh, I can't translate. Why? Why can't I translate the legs? This is uh this is when crossover from 3D to 2D is a bit difficult because what I'm trying to do is not there. And even over here, look, this leg and this arm are overlapping one another. I want to clear silhouette. So I want to move this leg out the way a little bit because it just feels like one unit. So I will pull this arm out. Feels weird when it goes out. And then when I pull it out, when I pull the arm out, it doesn't feel like what's happening with Tom over here. All right, let's leave that. Let's keep moving. Let's work on this arm. I don't think we see much on this side. Let's see. Yeah, his arm comes down and we see his fingers just behind the other leg. So there's not much to So for this part, what I'm going to do is just pull the shoulder out so we can see the arm more. There. I just want to see that line because at the moment it's right behind his torso. So pull it out. But now it's going through his leg, and all I do is rotate this backwards a little bit. Yeah, ba-da-ba-doo. No. But now, look at that. It's so, yeah, it's broken. I can't translate down because now I'm in IK, well, FK. That's fine because we just need to see his fingers ever so slightly there. What I can do is this and translate the fingers down there. Fingers down. Oops. Oh, we're seeing the tail in the background. I don't think the tail comes into action just yet. No, I want to keep the tail hidden until otherwise. There we go. Okay. And finally, the ears. If you look at this ear in the background, pointy up, the one we have is not so much. So I'll just do that. Save. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay, I think that's it. Let's do a quick test. that's going to come to the end of part 3. Next part, I'll just continue from where we left off. If you found the video helpful, hit the like and subscribe. Thank you. If you're serious about improving your animation, check the videos on the channels, join the live streams or re-watch them, or dive into the playlist which I put together, which include fundamentals, body mechanics, posing characters and much more, so you can focus on one area at a time to not feel overwhelmed. Pick the skill you want to level up, hit play and start your animation journey today. If you found this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe button and I'll have much more to help you improve. Thank you.